Secretary Redding, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. We're glad we're here at the 103rd Pennsylvania Farm Show. What are some of the new highlights this year?
Well, as we look out here, this farm market area, we've in the past very proud, of course, of our fruits and vegetables and honey and maple syrup, mushrooms, all that, and we had sort of static display and put them on display. But really felt like most of the public thinks about those things in a farmer's market. So we created this farmer's market environment over here. So you meet the growers, you meet the, sort of what's involved in producing those products. We've got a new extended culinary stage. So you take the Pennsylvania products that we like, PA preferred, put them into your menus, and every time I go down there, I'm amazed at people who want to do that. We've got our calving corner, it's back this year, so looking at dairy industry and the life cycle there, so a lot of good things.
Well, congratulations. You really got some creative minds out there that keep mixing things up and keeping it interesting.
Yeah.
This is, I guess, my third trip out here this week for one issue or another. It seems like your crowds have just been fantastic.
They've been amazing. I mean, we had a phenomenal weekend. And usually this show will find some equilibrium right through the week of everybody comes weekend, you have a lighter day. That has not been the case, to the contrary, right? Every single day there's more people, so that's a good thing.
That is a great thing. Good thing. Pennsylvania received a tremendous amount of rain in 2018 with extensive flooding in numerous areas. What effect did that have on the farming community and their crops? I know in your county we got hit with, well, it seemed like it never stopped raining, but particularly the Friday before Labor Day weekend, we just had a torrential downpour that not only made a bunch of people homeless, but washed out roads and utilities and so forth. So, I mean, it's been so damp, I would imagine there's probably a lot of farmers that are having difficulty getting into their fields to get their soybeans and corn off.
Yeah, it had a major impact, to answer your question. I mean, the normal year, 42 inches or so. This year, 70 inches in some cases. I think you were north of 70 inches with those torrential downpours. You can't have a quality crop. You can have a decent crop, but we had a lot of issues around quality. We had some farmers who had delayed plantings because the spring was wet. That seemed like a long time ago, but the delay to get in. Harvest was really late, and where it'll show up even more is because a lot of those fall crops were late coming off. You couldn't get a cover crop on, or the fall wheat in for a harvest next spring, right, next summer. So there'll be a residual into 2019. As I've said often, it's the rain was the insult to injury in a really tough market, right? Our guys got hit hard with all of the rain and moisture problems. So we're hopeful. That's you always take a long view of this business, but I'm really hopeful that 2019 is a drier year, not the drought dry, but just normal rainfall. And then we get our markets back, so we can rebuild the confidence of farmers. They're feeling a little down about all the struggle of the marketplace and income, of course. But we're hopeful in 2019.
Well, they certainly are a hardy bunch. I join you with our thoughts for them. Hopefully the pendulum swung really far this year, and hopefully it won't go back reciprocating. It'll end somewhere in the middle that we've had. The spotted lanternfly, first found in Berks County, has spread to additional areas. The USDA sent Pennsylvania more than $17 million in the spring to help combat the insect that harms many of our ag products like fruits and hardwoods. Yeah. How is that money being used, and are you seeing any improvements?
Yeah, we're very grateful, for U.S. Department of Agriculture's support. They have noted, that this is of national concern, right? It's in Pennsylvania. Right now, it's limited to Pennsylvania. It's contained to Pennsylvania. We prefer not to have it, but somehow we did. So we brought in our federal partners, and Secretary Perdue and his team have really been helpful, and our Pennsylvania congressional delegation has been helpful. Everybody understands that the quicker we can, suppress this, eradicate it, the better. For the nation's benefit, it happens to be in an area that also includes the Port of Philadelphia, right? That 13-county quarantine zone. So we're concerned about what happens in trading partners. So it's always a longer answer than one would prefer.
Right.
But I'll just say that, with the USDA support, Penn State University Cooperative Extension support, both on the education and the research side, what we've done in the department, the resources through the General Assembly, we feel like we're in the right place starting 2019. The reality is, though, that we're probably a couple of years out because it's a science issue, right? We're trying to understand the basic biology of this pest. I can tell you it hasn't met anything it doesn't like. It doesn't discriminate, and we're worried about it. So that's why all of the efforts being put forth. So we'll head into 2019 trying to keep it in the 13 counties and then suppress that as hard as we can.
Yeah, there's been some education as far as like if you suspect an egg sac or whatever to how to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And obviously the spread is I mean, it's in Lancaster County, I believe, but has not crossed the river into York County as of this point.
No, it is not. And I say to everybody, just because it's in the 13 counties, it happens to be a very heavily populated and traveled area, both in and out, right? Major interstates. This pest is also an opportunist, right? So it'll get in the car, you get in the trunk, it gets in the truck, the train, whatever, and moves out. And we've seen that, and we really are concerned. We haven't had any established populations anywhere. Folks are really good about it, but it does speak to the issue of making sure that you check your hunting equipment you store outside, you look at your camping equipment, it's the kids' toys that are outside, your garden tools, and look for those gray egg sacs, that are harboring the spotted lanternfly.
Yeah. Well, great points. Again, Secretary, thank you for your time today. Looking forward to working with you between now and next farm show as we go into the start of the new session. And again, thank you so much.
Really good. Thank you.